In this video, we're going to practice solving systems of linear equations by graphing. I told y'all we would continue to work on your algebra skills while we're learning your new trig skills. So in this video, we're going to be looking at some algebra skills. All right, so first of all, linear equations. Linear equations make a line. That equation could be in the form y equals mx plus b. That's usually what we use for graphing. It could be in standard form, ax plus by equals c. That's a possibility as well. And we're going to look at graphing from both of these forms so that we can solve our system of linear equations. A system basically just means there's more than one equation happening at the same time. So what is the solution to a system of linear equations? Well, the solution to any linear equation is a point that makes the equation true. Any point on the line would be considered a solution. So if we have a system, if we have two equations at the same time, the solution to a system of equations makes both equations true simultaneously. So right there, that point is on this line, and at the same time, that point is on this line. So it makes both equations true at the same time. So basically, the solution is the point of intersection. That's what you see right there, and it's written as a point with the x-coordinate first and then the y-coordinate. Okay, let's look at solving this system of equations. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the calculator. All right, this is like what you guys are used to using in class. I'm going to go to the y equals screen. Let me turn it on. Go to the y equals. So I've already got them typed in there for us, 3x plus 4 and negative 2x minus 5, and we're going to graph it. All right, and you can see the point of intersection right here. So I'm going to ask the calculator to find that point of intersection for me. And those of you guys who are in class, this is the way you'll do it for your test. So you see calculate right here above trace, you see it's yellow. So you're going to hit second trace to get to the calculate screen. And we're trying to find the point of intersection. So I'm going to go down to number 5. Okay, so it's going to ask me, is y1 my first curve? Well, yes, it is. Y1 is the first thing I put in there. You can see it right here. So I'm going to hit enter to tell it yes. And then it's going to say, well, is y2 your second curve? And again, yes, it is. There it is right there. And you can see it written right at the top. So I'll hit enter to tell it yes. And then it's going to ask me to guess. So usually I would need to move my cursor left or right to get close. In this case, it's already there. And I'll hit enter. And it will give me the point of intersection. So the answer to this one, because I'm going to write my answer like a point, the answer is the point negative 1.8. Sorry, it won't let me show the the calculator and write at the same time. Negative 1.4. So the solution is the point of intersection, the point where they cross. And again, to get to that, you hit second calc and then go to intersection. So those of you guys who are with me in class, we will practice that in class. Okay, for Delta Math, we need a slightly different strategy. So all of you are going to be doing work on Delta Math. So let's look at and remember how to graph a line. So the first thing you do is put a dot or put a point on the y-intercept. Remember the y-intercept is this one. When it's written in y equals mx plus b form, here's m, here's b, and I'm going to put a dot on b, which is the y-intercept. So I'm going to go here to 3, and I'm going to put a dot. Now the second step is to count the slope. And you remember m stands for slope. It's the one in front of the x, and it's rise over run. In this case, I'm going to fall because it's negative. So I'm going to start on this point right here, and I'm going to go down 1, and I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, and put a dot right there. So it's negative. Why was I going right? Okay, well, think about if you go down and then left, down and left, negative divided by negative is a positive. So if I go down and left, my line is actually going to have a positive slope. In order to have a negative slope, I need to go down and right. Negative divided by positive is a negative. And then once I get those 2 points on there, Delta Math is going to draw the line in between them for me, and I'm not going to have to do anything else. Okay, let's practice one. So here is an example of what we might see in Delta Math. You can see that this one is already in the form I need it to be for graphing. That one is in slope-intercept form. Here's the intercept of 2. The slope in this case is -1, and if you want to write that fraction in there so that you can see rise over run, there it is, -1/1. But see, this one is not in the right form in order for me to graph, so I'm going to need to get y by itself. Okay, so let's see how we do that. To get y by itself, I'm going to subtract x from both sides. -28 and -x, those are not like terms. So I'm going to write them both down. I want it to look like y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to put the x term first and then the constant term second. Okay, I still don't have y by itself. I need to get rid of that -4. So I'm going to divide both sides by -4. Okay, now here's something I have seen people struggle with in the past. Right here, when I simplify this, negative divided by negative is a positive. That part's okay. But some people want to say that this equals 4 because they see the 1 right here, the understood 1, and they want to make that equal to 4. But really, this is 1/4. There's an understood 1 in front of the x in the numerator, and the 4 has to stay in the denominator. And then this one, -28 divided by -4, that's +7. Okay, so now I have it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's graph. Let me switch my computer over to Delta Math. I'm going to move the box where you can see it. There we go. Okay, and you can see that that's the same problem that we just copied. -x plus 2 is the first one. Okay, so now try to remember from the last video, we do the y-intercept first. The y-intercept is this one, not from the last video, just earlier in this video. And it's going to say click the graph. So I'm going to go to 2 and click on 2. And now I'm going to count the slope. Remember we said there's that understood 1/1 in front of the x, and it's negative. So I'm going to go down 1 and right 1 and click again. And then you can see Delta Math is going to draw that line in there for me. Okay, so this second one, let's go back and look at it again. There it is right there, 1/4 x plus 7. Okay, so which of these numbers am I going to do first? I'm going to do the 7. That's the y-intercept. So I'm going to put my point on 7, and then I'm going to count the slope. Okay, let's go back and look. The slope is right here. The slope is 1/4, and that's positive. So this time I'm going to count up 1 and right 4. Click. There you go. It wouldn't let me click. All right, and I need my answer, which is the point of intersection, which is right here. So remember we put our points like x comma y. So I need the x value of this point, which that looks like it's going to be -4. And then I need the y value. Looks like it's going to be 6. So let's go type it in down here. -4 comma 6. Be sure you use good notation. You need parentheses because it's a point. You need a comma in between them. Yes, we want to submit that answer, and we got it right. Okay, so that works out really well for Delta Math. All right, let's come back over here to where we were. Oops. All right, what if this were a problem that was on a Canvas test? You can't get to Delta Math. You can't get this problem on Delta Math during a Canvas test, so you need something different. And so for that, we're going to use Desmos. Okay, Desmos, www.desmos.com. So those of you guys who are at home, you'll just type in your 2 lines here to Desmos. And then if you want to find the point of intersection, you just click on it. And there it is, -4, 6. So if this were a Canvas test, this is what you would do. You would come to -4, 6 and type that in. Those of you guys who are in class, you will do yours using the calculator. Okay, and we would type this in the calculator. Clear out whatever's in there. And type in our 2 equations. So -x plus 2 is the first one. And 1/4 x plus 7 is the second one. Hit graph. All right, there's my 2 lines. Okay, now remember to get to calculate, second, calc, and we're going to find the intersection of the points. Is y1 my first curve? Yes, it is, so hit enter to tell it yes. Is y2 my second curve? Yes, it is, so hit enter to tell it yes. And I want to find the point of intersection, so when I guess, I want to scoot over close to that. And you can see I'm using my left cursor right there and hit enter. And it's going to give me the same answer, -4/6, and then I can type that into Canvas. So regardless of which system you're using, you're trying to find that point of intersection. Okay, let's go back into Delta Math and let's do a new problem. Okay, so I've got this one. Y equals 2/3 x minus 6 and x plus 3y equals -9. Okay, so this one is in the right form. Let's go ahead and graph that one. Which number should I graph first? Yes, I'm going to graph the -6. So let me put my point on the y-intercept of -6. And then from there, I'm going to count the slope. So I'm going to go up 2 and right 1, 2, 3. And then Delta Math is going to draw that line in there for me. Okay, now this one is not in the right form. I can't work with it like that. So I'm going to need to go here and I'm going to write that down. X plus 3y equals -9. All right, now my goal is to get y by itself. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So 3y equals -x minus 9. Those are not like terms, so I can't put them together. Still trying to get y by itself. So I'm going to divide by 3. All right, and let's see what I got here. So my 3's multiplying and dividing, that cancels out. Oh, that's a terrible looking equals. Let's see if I can make that better. Equals. Okay, now, what do you guys think we're going to get on x here? This is very similar to the last one that we did. Right, I'm going to have that -1 in the numerator and 3 in the denominator. Remember, that's -1/3. That does not equal 3. This equals 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So -9 divided by 3 is going to be -3. All right, so now let's go type that in. -1/3 x minus 3. All right, let's see. So first, I will put my dot on the y-intercept, which is -3. And then my slope was -1/3. So I'm going to count down 1 and write 3. And then when I click, Delta Math will put that line in there for me. All right, let's find the x and the y coordinates of that point. Okay, so you guys look at that. What is the x coordinate of this point? Right, the x coordinate is 3. So I'm going to put that in there first. And then the y coordinate of -4. Click submit. Yes, let's give it a try. And we got it right, so that's good. Okay, so let's go put that one into Desmos while we're here. I'll clear out the lines I've got in Desmos right now. Okay, so the first one that we had, 2/3 x minus 6. Okay, let's type that in, 2/3 x minus 6. And those of you guys who are in-class students, you can use Desmos while you're at home. And the second one, y equals -1/3 x minus 3. All right, now I have to scoot the screen. I can't see it, so I'll scoot the screen to where I can find that point of intersection. And there it is, 3, -4. So no matter what you're using, which technology you're using, any of those things are good. So the calculators while you're in class for practice for Canvas. While you're at home, you can use Desmos because you won't have access to the calculators. But the way you do it in Delta Math is just regular graphing where you're going to put your dot on the y-intercept, which remember the y-intercept is the second one. Oh, here it is. Put your dot on the y-intercept and then count the slope from that point.